It looks like it's 2-1. Looks like Philly's 2-1.
Your eyes are that good. You can see that scoreboard.
I can. Is it 2-1?
God bless you, man. I think either I can see Metal Chris holding up a phone 2 feet from my face.
Craig Hoffman. Huh?
I'm gonna hope that my eyes are that good when they just haven't been staring into the sun for 3 hours. But also Scott Abraham might just have outstanding eyes. It's television Scott Abraham, everybody. We could not have him on the camera. What's up, buddy? How are you? Happy opening day.
I came right over here because you're working on your suntan, and I was getting a little jealous.
Yeah, it's they really set me up in a unique spot. The fine folks. Look, Tap 99's awesome. Maybe they wanted the camera angle here all the time. Now we got the Kilwin sign right behind you. Like it's a lovely spot. The weather's nice. And as I was walking out of my house, I went, should I stop by my car? Because I wasn't driving down here. I took the metro. Just like a man of the people.
Sunglasses?
I was like, should I grab my son? I'll be fine. When will us, as specifically men, ever learn that we're not going to be fine? I did this last week, too, going to the Spirit game. It's not going to be that cold. I'll be fine. Spent $90 on a new sweatshirt.
That's why we need a good lady in our life to kind of keep us in line.
Thank God I have one. I should listen to her more often. She's the most prepared person I've ever met in my entire life. And then there's me, can't go outside.
That's right.
Literally can't go outside. Anyway, we're going to talk about sports with Scott here for a little bit, and then you can go watch him, of course, on ABC 7. Biggest story, like what's leading the sportscast tonight? Is it Maryland and Willard? Just totally, my brain is really baking out here in the sun. And Willard, or is what's going on over here with the Nats?
So like right now, when I'm doing my live shots, I'm talking more about Nats Park and opening day. But tonight it's going to be University of Maryland, obviously the big game in San Francisco, Sweet 16. But unfortunately, the game is kind of secondary to the big storyline, as you've discussed, on your radio program all day long with Kevin Willard. And I think he's done a master class in working the media and in using his platform and press conference settings to basically air what he wants, air his grievances, what he wants at Maryland, maybe what he wants at Villanova. Do I think it was right to use that? Probably not. And if you and I went on and talked about our employer in a bad light, why couldn't we stay longer in New York City? Why couldn't we get more airtime? Why couldn't we get a longer interview? I don't think that was the right thing to do and air those type of grievances in that setting. But I understand his frustrations with NIL and, more, revenue and resources and assets going to the football program, where maybe if he jets off to Villanova, they're not going to. He's not going to have to worry about a football program there. About football, and there's a big piece of the pie in the NIL.
So, I don't want to pretend like it's black and white, because it's not. But my essentially my take, if you will, because I guess that's the business I'm in. I'm in the take business. My take on it was, is it optimal? No. But I also actually don't mind it, because if I was so good at my job that they couldn't fire me, I'd talk about the things I want on the air more, because I'd have that power. And ultimately, the reason, one, everyone, we're doing great. Two, if I had another job lined up and was just like, okay, you either give me what I want, I'll try to negotiate in private.
He's got leverage, Craig.
Right, and that's the thing. Essentially, it's that, right? Is if he's correct in his assessment, which I believe that he is, that they need more, that if he doesn't get what he wants and Maryland doesn't give the next coach what he wanted, that we're going to be in this cycle 2 years from now again with a different person. And if he's correct and he's got the leverage, I almost think he has a responsibility to use it, because it will actually elevate the program. Now, is that uncomfortable? Yes. Does it make Maryland fans upset because you're basically being told you think you're a big guy or a big boy program and you're not, and that doesn't feel very good? Yes. But if it gets the job done in the end, and he stays and he gets the things and the program's better for it, then you have to, talk about the means and the ends.
Then it was brilliant on his part, but then if he leaves, he'd be like Judas, and everybody would,
of course,
absolutely. You obviously see social media. I mean, he's getting lit up right now. And as for the game itself, I don't necessarily think it's going to be a distraction. I think them staying out on the West Coast, they were in Seattle. They stayed out there for practice all week long. I think they're kind of their own little bubble. Yep. I think he's been very transparent to his players, and these guys understand. They got a job to do, and they They know they're 2 more wins away from going to the Final Four. You have a Julian Reese and a Derek Queen. Those guards are terrific. And, yeah, they're underdogs in this game, but I think it's going to be a close game. I think Maryland's going to play really hard, very competitive. I think they have an advantage staying out there on the West Coast, being in their own little bubble, and just being out there for the entire week.
So that's the other thing I actually haven't talked about on the show today yet is what I don't want to happen is if Maryland loses, that he gets blamed in that this was a distraction.
You know he's going to, though.
Of course, but like, hey, we're in the media. Can we make a handshake agreement right now? We're not going to do that?
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because guess what?
I wouldn't blame, no.
Florida's a better basketball team. And like, that's fine to admit, while also not damning Maryland to lose. Like, if Florida and Maryland play, these two versions of these two teams, these two programs, play 10 times, Florida probably wins 8 because they're just better. They have more talent. They've been better all year. They have better shooting. They have more size. Like, it's a hard matchup because Florida, and we had because what's 2 good Syracuse alums if you don't mention the third? We had Kevin Brown on the show last week, and he talked about how, like, if you look at the Ken Pom ratings, these top seeds are some of the best top seeds we've seen in
ever.
20 years, if not ever, since Pomeroy's been doing the rankings. Like, this Florida team is not just really good this year, they're really good any year. And so if you lose to them, you lost to a really good basketball team, not necessarily because this became a distraction. And that's not to say that it 100% isn't, but I just hope that that's not the narrative that takes hold and that Maryland fans are not like, if we would have won because the reality is, can you win tonight? Absolutely. Yeah. Are you favored? No. Is there a reason for that? Yes, and it's not because of the distraction.
You can hope that Maryland fans are going to act accordingly, but that's not going to be the case. If they lose this basketball game, it's going to be nasty, especially on social media and the radio and in our call-in show on TV. But I think Maryland has to play a near-perfect game. They got to force some turnovers, get Florida off their game. And I watched that Colorado State game, that second-round game in Seattle last weekend, and I was very disappointed with the Terps defense. Those guards for Colorado State, the penetration, getting to the basket almost every possession, it was difficult to watch. They were very fortunate to win that game. That can't happen tonight against Florida because if they're going to slice them up like Swiss cheese.
Yeah, I mean, Walter Clayton Jr., one of the best guards in America, he's going to be going. The big kid they've got is nasty. Like, he's a potential first round
And they're deep.
pick.
Florida is deep.
That's the other
Maryland
thing.
is not necessarily deep. They got the Crab 5. They've had some more production off their bench, but Florida can roll out 7, 8, 9 guys like that.
Yeah. So that's that. That's tonight here on the Team 980. Some of the post-game coverage, what Willard says after the game, win or lose. You can watch that press conference or the best of it with Scott tonight at 11 on ABC 7. What's got you most excited about these guys? I think someone from Philly just homered, so that's less than ideal.
Is it 1-1?
Bryce Harper.
Was it
No,
Harper?
was it Bryce? Oh,
All right.
Jeez.
Well, I had heard a rumor that guy was good at baseball. I know. That was a couple years ago, and I wasn't sure what happened to him.
But before Bryce's homer, I'm very happy with Mackenzie Gore with his outing because he's obviously a key piece, and he was a key addition with the trades and the Scherzer and the Soto trades and all those assets that Washington has gotten over the last couple of years to be in a position like they are now to take that step forward. And I think he has 9 or 10 strikeouts already in this game, and he's been terrific so far. So that's been very encouraging because you need your opening day starter, which is your ace, to be an ace all season long. So if Mackenzie Gore can do this each and every outing, that's a huge head start for the Nationals.
For sure. And I just am excited. I saw a Dylan Cruz jersey as I got up out of the Metro today, and I just saw a couple of James Wood jerseys walk by, and I opened the show talking about this a little bit. Like, I'm just excited that the youth movement we've been promised is finally here, and that we'll see. Like, are these guys going to be good this year? Like, good winning Major League Baseball players? Like, there's going to be bumps in the road. I would hope that, like, C.J. Abrams is. He was an all-star last year. That he continues to grow, and he's a little older than some of these other guys. But, like, we're finally getting to see it. And I don't know if you saw this absolute absurdity that we did on our show earlier this week.
Okay.
But we play a game called, this is now 3 years running, I believe, Is That Guy a Washington National? Kind of having a little bit of fun with the fact that the roster is mostly unknown to even perhaps sports talk hosts and producers. And Anthony and I did make proper buffoons out of ourselves. It somehow was even better than it was supposed to be from an entertainment standpoint. But the game started because we literally didn't know anyone on the team. And I probably 2 years ago when we started the game, and certainly last year, year one, spring one after the Soto trade, could have probably done better with like AAA than I could have with the major league club. And I'm just excited that a lot of those names that we've been waiting on are now on the major league club. And I think it's going to be fun. Like, again, I don't know how many games the Nats are going to win this year. They might wind up being good. They could be young and scrappy and win some baseball games, no doubt. But, like, at least if you turn on a Nats game this year, you can be like, I've heard of that guy, and I'm excited for him to turn into a really good baseball player.
And it's time, Craig. 2019 seems like a lifetime ago. That's when, obviously, they won that World Series. And this fan base has been extremely patient, and they want to see progress, and they deserve progress. Back-to-back 71-win seasons, not going to cut it anymore. And I know there's some frustration with the fan base with the fact that this Lerner family and the ownership group did not necessarily spend a lot of money during free agency. They didn't get that big splash like a Jason Worth they brought over or a Max Scherzer they brought over back in the day. So I think the formula right now, that the mindset this ownership group and the front office is in, they want to see this young core, the C.J. Abrams, the Dylan Cruz, the James Wood, the Mackenzie Gores, take that step forward, show some progress, and then hopefully I think they're going to start spending next offseason because they can see it all come together, and that's when they kind of make their move in the division. And it doesn't help this division is so tough, as you know, with the Braves, Phillies, and Mets. It's a battle each and every series.
Scott Abraham's with us, of course, ABC 7. He is going to be live coming up at 6 o'clock on ABC 7, tonight at 11 o'clock as well. Have all the Terps post-game reaction. You also could have an Ovechkin goal tonight. They're up there. I know
it's a busy sports day, actually.
It's a lot.
With opening day.
You have to fight the news. Hey, sorry, I know news. There's nothing going on in the world. I need 5 minutes of sports tonight.
Yeah, I know.
Internal dirty laundry.
I'll stay out of the politics. I'll stay out of that stuff. But as you know, this is a great sports town, and there's a lot going on, and it's been dominated by the Ovi chase, and that's just. I compare it to almost like when Barry Bonds is trying to track down Hank Aaron. It's that type of magnitude and that type of importance, and he's getting closer and closer. I hope he does it at home down the road here. I think he has 4 home games left, so. But it's just been a magical season to see him with a broken leg miss 16 games and still be close to scoring 40 goals again. The guy, as they say, is a Russian machine that never breaks, and I hope DC sports fans, Caps fans, really appreciate what they've been seeing year after year from obviously one of the greatest sports figures this city has ever seen.
So I will sometimes try, like I try not to do this job in a way that's self-indulgent, but also I try to appreciate the fact that I get to talk about sports for a living. And I think that can be a fine line. So now that you're a guest on my show, as opposed to having to be your professional stand-up television man, and I get to ask you, like, not a personal question, but a personal, professional question. Like, have you taken time, as someone who's followed the Caps very closely, like, do you ever just, like, look up as you're watching the building go nuts after he scores, or whatever it is that you're writing about it, and you're getting to write the words, knowing you're getting to say them on TV, you're writing your scripts, where you just go, this is pretty cool that I get to cover this.
Like, yeah, I mean, I get paid money to go cover these incredible moments and being able to follow Alex Ovechkin as he tries to surpass Wayne Gretzky. Like, I get paid to do this, and it's just, I don't take it for granted, and it's just very special to be in these situations, these games, these moments, to be part of the action in a sense, not be necessarily in the studio or behind the curtain, but you're right there watching it unfold with your own 2 eyes, and it's very special. And I've had a lot of great memories in this town for the 10 years I've been in, and a lot of championships and a lot of great memories, and the Commanders obviously finally going in the right direction. That was a magical season last year, so I'm hoping many more down the road.
Specific to Ovi, though, is there like, a thing you wrote or a place you were, and obviously, like, if you're there when he breaks it, and especially, obviously, if that happens at home, but if you're there when he breaks it, that'll be a moment. I think we all remember where we were in 18 when they won it, in 19 when the Nats won it, et cetera. But, like, has there been a moment along the chase for Ovechkin this season that you have, like, taken a moment to step back and be like, let me make sure I soak this part of it in?
Yeah, I mean, I think when he came back from the broken leg, because you didn't really fully understand what he went through and what you're seeing on the ice in front of your eyes when he's coming back for a broken leg, and he didn't skip a beat. He was scoring goals left and right. He went on a good scoring streak several games in a row after he broke his leg, and you just sit back and you're like, wow, the guy is, pushing, I don't know how old he is, but he's getting up there in age.
It doesn't seem to matter.
And I think this is his 20th year in the NHL, and it's just amazing, again, to be able to wear the Caps sweater each and every season of his professional life in the NHL. That's so rare in this business of sports, to be with one team where Gretzky, obviously with Edmonton, the Kings, the Blues, the Rangers, and Ovi's going to be able to do it all here in Washington. That's fantastic.
All right, wrapping up with Scott Abraham, one more completely nonsense question to wrap up. But I don't know if you
nonsense.
saw. I don't know if you saw. Kermit the Frog is going to be the commencement speaker at the University of Maryland. And so we were asking earlier, what if you could pick anyone from your alma mater, which I realize is also my alma mater, but if you could pick anyone from your alma mater to give your commencement speech, because Jim Henson is from Maryland, which is why he is Kermit the Frog is giving the commencement speech. First of all, who did you have for your commencement?
I had Jane Goodall. You know Jane Goodall?
I know the name.
She works with the gorillas in the like the chimpanzees and the monkeys out, and she has
she's like a nature TV host,
right? She
humanitarian type.
Correct. Shelters them when they're in danger, and she can communicate with them.
Not the band of the gorillas, actual monkeys.
Yes, actually monkeys.
Yeah.
So she was my commencement speaker. But for Syracuse, I mean, go down the line in terms of television personalities.
I was trying to think of not
I'd
broadcasters.
But if I would go with Bob Costas.
Costas would be good. So I was telling the audience and Max, our producer back in the studio earlier, I actually had a ridiculous double. I had Tirico for Newhouse.
Yep.
And then we had Aaron Sorkin for University. Ooh. So that's pretty good.
That's pretty good. What year was that?
2012.
Okay.
So I just curious who you would come up with.
I mean, Kermit the Frog he's
pretty good.
You might as well have Otto the Orange for Syracuse, dude.
Did you know that Jeff Kirkchin was Otto the Orange? Tim's son, who's his own media personality in his own right. He was Otto when he was in school.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I actually interviewed Tim Kirchin last week about the Nats season.
Did you?
I'll have to pick on him a little bit next time I talk to him.
I mean, it's a badge of honor, a suit of honor.
It is, and I'm sure very stinky.
Yeah, probably. I do wonder how they wash mascot costumes. I'll probably wonder that out loud, not on the radio another time. Scott Abraham, everybody, with us here on the Hoffman Show. He's going to go back and do some more television starting at 6 on ABC 7, live outside of Nats Park. I do believe we just got through the back end of the seventh inning stretch because I think I heard someone singing inside the park.
Looks like it's 2-1. Looks like Phillies 2-1.
Your eyes are that good? You can see that scoreboard?
I can. Right. Is it 2-1?
God bless you, man. I think either I can see Metal Chris holding up a phone 2 feet from my face.
Craig Hoffman. Huh?
I'm gonna hope that my eyes are that good when they just haven't been staring into the sun for 3 hours. But also Scott Abraham might just have outstanding eyes to be able to see that from here.
Maybe I'm eating a lot of carrots and broccoli and all the good vegetables. I don't know.
There you go. Maybe.
Thanks for letting me work on my suntan.
You're welcome.
I needed it for 15 minutes.
You're
Thank
welcome.
You.
You just feeling alive now?
I feel way better.
Excellent. We were going to never read the comments. Instead of the dumbest things that we do on this show, we had a very smart guest. But we're still going to never read the comments. We're just going to do it next.
Hey, this is DA, and you're listening to The Hoffman Show on the Team 980 and the Odyssey app.